Hey my friends, Lissa here for another video, and this is going to be another Q&A video because there was so much response with the last one that I thought I would do another. I wanted to start this one with telling a little bit more about myself because I've had quite a few people say they want to know a little bit more about me, so I'm going to just tell you guys a little more about me. I'm a professional photographer and I shoot mainly boudoir, newborns, maternities, family, and weddings here and there. This is my studio where I shoot boudoir. I like cats and dogs, all animals obviously, but I have two cats named Chai and Aria, and they're sometimes in my videos. They're super cute. I'm a romantic, a nerd, as you can see. I really like superhero movies, romantic comedies. I think if I was to watch one movie before I died, I'd probably pick Dirty Dancing, or Notting Hill, or Ever After. I really like those ones. Did I wear jelly shoes in the 80s? That one's from Jenny. I didn't actually. I didn't even know about them. I was born in 1979, so I was more of a little kid in the 80s, up till about 10 years old. So I wasn't really into like the cool stuff back then, but I did have a thing for Care Bears, Nintendo, and I was pretty obsessed with Doctor Who. So those are a little bit more about me. My favorite TV shows right now is X-Files. I was obsessed also with X-Files when I was younger, so we're actually rewatching the whole series, and that is when I do my weights. I actually figured, since we're going to be watching, and well, since we watch shows every single night, and now we're watching the X-Files, I decided that instead of just laying on the couch, why don't I lift some weights? So for the last 3 weeks, I've been lifting light weights, sitting on the couch watching TV. And I'll basically do like some raises or shoulder presses, lean back and maybe do some Russian twists with the weights. So I basically just do whatever I feel like doing, bicep curls, cross bicep curls, triceps. So I've really noticed a difference in my muscle tone in my arms and my abs since I started doing that. So that's a really good tip for you guys. If you're watching TV, might as well make the best of it and lift some weights. My other favorites are Game of Thrones, Suits, Sons of Anarchy. What else did I write here? I love Battlestar Galactica, the new one, and I love Star Trek. I think it's a beautiful show about a utopian society, and they just strive for the betterment of mankind, and everybody's so moral, and I just love that show so much, especially the next generation. So there's a little bit more about me if you guys wanted to know. If you do want to know more, just post some comments below, some questions, and maybe we'll answer more in the next Q&A video. Oh yeah, and if I could go on a vacation for 1 month, where would I go? I would go to Italy. My husband's from Italy, and well, his family is, and he's got lots of family there, and we have gone already twice in our relationship, and I would love to go again and just experience it again. I speak fluent Italian, so it's really nice to go and have fresh fruits and vegetables there. This time, however, I would be a raw vegan. Last time I had to wean myself off of about a 1 month or 2 month-ish raw vegan stint. I was high fat, but I weaned myself off and I became addicted to cooked food again. So that wouldn't happen this time, but yeah, I have to really explain that. Okay, so I wanted to answer some questions. I have my little notepad here, so just bear with me. Okay, how long does it take to eat salads, and do I stop in between? It takes me, for my lunch salad, because it isn't as big as my dinner salad, it takes about a half an hour to 45 minutes to eat that, and I eat it slowly at my computer desk while I'm editing my photos for my photography. And my dinner salad can take about an hour to an hour and a half, and I eat my salad until I feel full, and then I let it sit sometimes for 5 or 10 minutes, sometimes 20 minutes, and then I'll finish the rest off. I feel like I graze through my salads, so it's a little bit better for my metabolism. Instead of stuffing myself full, I need the calories and I need the nutrition, but sometimes I can't eat the whole thing right there in like half an hour. So I will take my time, and sometimes it takes an hour and a half, but I do it when I watch a show at night too, like before. Sometimes we'll watch 2 episodes and I'll eat my salad and then I'll do my weights. So that's basically how the evening goes. Do I feel full after? I feel satisfied. It's not that stuffed feeling that I used to get when I eat cooked food. I don't like that feeling. I feel like I don't feel light. I love feeling lean and clean inside, so I don't, even if I eat a lot, like a huge salad, and if I eat it faster, like if I'm late for an appointment or whatever and I have to eat it fast, I still don't feel stuffed and full inside, and I really like that. I like to feel satisfied and never full, and I haven't had that full feeling for a long time, so I don't miss it at all. Do I feel bloated or need a break before continuing my day? I don't actually, unless I eat say watermelon, or if I do like a mono meal of fruit. Sometimes I feel like I wouldn't say bloated, I would say more full. Not the same full as, you know, eating potatoes, but I just feel like it takes up space. But they digest so fast that I don't even really notice. So, you know, the only thing is though with watermelon, I find that I go to the bathroom a little bit more often, which is fine. I don't mind that. Do you eat less or more at the beginning or the same as now? I eat more now than I did before. Before, when I first started trying to get in my calories, I did eat a lot more bananas, which is fine too. I personally prefer salads in the afternoon and the evening, so I just stick to my fruit in the morning and as snacks, and I do my salads for lunch and dinner. But before, I would do more fruit into lunch and then salad for dinner. So it has changed a little bit, and some days I do all fruit right up until dinner. It just depends on how I feel and how much fruit I have right at the time. So it did take a little while to work up to eating more salads and getting that volume in. But again, I graze through my salads, so it takes a little bit longer to eat them. But you're getting the, you know, by eating more volume, you're getting more nutrients, more minerals, more vitamins from those foods, more protein too. So, which if I'm eating more greens, I feel that's helping a little bit more with my weights. And how did you explain the way you eat to your husband and your family? And I'll include friends in there. With my husband, he's known that I've been trying to do raw for the last 10 years. So he's been with me through all the fails. And he understands, and this time around I told him I really need to do this, and I was never a vegan for ethical reasons in the past until now, and I think that is a huge driver for me to stay raw and vegan, obviously. But my husband, I explained a lot of the ethics and environmental, and we watched the Cowspiracy, and he didn't watch Earthlings because after Cowspiracy, he decided to join me and be vegan as well. So I didn't force him to watch Earthlings. He's seen a couple of the slaughterhouse videos, and I give vegans a free pass not to have to watch Earthlings because you already understand why you're a vegan. So I don't think that it's necessary to expose yourself to that if you are already vegan. So again, free pass for vegans to watch that movie. But when I go out to friends' houses, I do explain that it's awesome that they would want to make me something, and I'm really happy that they do, and it means a lot, but I can't eat that. And then I'll explain what I can eat, and I'll be like, sometimes, most of the time actually, I say, can I bring my own stuff and we can share it? And I don't mind if they eat whatever. Most of them will try my salads and really like them, and we'll talk about it a little bit. But all in all, I stand my ground, because if I am pleasing other people, it's not going to get me anywhere. It's going to pull me back, because I know that I can't deal with cooked food. I know that if I had a bunch of potatoes, I wouldn't tolerate that very well. Hold on. Sorry, I didn't want the fan to... It's a little darker, but I don't want the fan to be too loud on top of my voice. So yeah, I take my own stuff and I explain to them, and a lot of my friends know that I run this YouTube channel and I run a huge Facebook fan page, so it's not like I'm going to be eating cooked food anytime soon. Doesn't matter what they say. So it's just, that's my opinion on that. And if they don't accept it and they get angry, then sometimes I'll just say, that's up to you. Maybe we should not go out for dinner. Maybe I won't come over. Sometimes it hurts, but I have never had that happen. Most people are really accepting, and I do get a lot of concern. A lot of people saying, are you doing this? Is this right? Is it healthy? Where do you get your protein? Like, I get a lot of that too. But most people just say, okay, whatever. You know, so I don't really have a whole lot of resistance there when I go out to friends' houses. Do you think it's necessary to eat a lot of bananas? Yes. I eat between 5 and 10 bananas a day, and I know some people who eat more and some people who eat less. The reason I choose bananas is because they are almost like a perfect food. They have all the amino acids that you need. They are very high calories, so if you're trying, obviously you're going to be trying to get enough energy for the day, because if you don't have enough energy, then you're going to start craving things. So the bananas really help with getting up your calories, especially if you're eating 5 to 10 a day. That's, you know, a quarter to a half of your calories just in bananas. So then you can make up for the rest with other fruits and berries, dates. My salad dressings are 350 calories for lunch and 350 calories for dinner, give or take. So there is like 700 calories with my bananas. You know, the bulk of my calories are coming from fruit. So it's really nice, and then the rest of my salads are greens and tomatoes and cucumbers and zucchinis and things like that. So I think bananas are a great addition, and if you don't really like them, try hiding them in a smoothie, add lots of berries, you know, just try to have the bananas because they really fill you up and they really help with cravings. And if you're hungry, I just go grab a banana, grab a spotted banana, and nice cream is really good too. Again, if you don't really like bananas, try freezing them and then making banana ice cream. Basically just bananas in your blender and blend that up, maybe with some vanilla powder, or some people can do cacao. I can't do raw cacao. It acts too much like caffeine, which is one of the questions on here, which is the next one. Did you ever drink coffee and how did you stop? I did drink coffee and I was addicted to energy drinks. I drank 1 to 2 cans of Monster, Rockstar, or whatever, Red Bulls. I had 1 or 2 every single day for the last 6 years. There were a couple times where I stopped them, like my paleo challenge about 2 years ago. I did stop them then, and there were a couple times throughout where I would just give them up because I knew they weren't good. But then I just get re-addicted to them because I would have one and then I would have another and then I would have another, and then I was back into the same old routine. And on top of that, I would do coffee too. I would go to Starbucks, we would make espressos here, you name it, we would have. I had too much caffeine in my system. And when I decided to become a raw vegan and I gave everything up, I gave those up too. I gave everything up overnight, and I know some people can't do that, but you can substitute coffee for the dandelion or bamboo coffee substitutes that you can find at health food stores. That can help with like the flavor and the, you know, the need to drink a hot coffee flavored drink if that's like a mental need of yours. You can do that too, but I gave them up overnight and I don't miss them at all. Thank goodness, because it was wrecking my sleep. I would wake up every night with heart palpitations. I felt like I was going to have a heart attack, and then I would think about death, and then I wouldn't be able to go back to sleep. So I haven't had that in almost a year. So that I am so grateful for, and my adrenal glands have healed. I can handle stress so much better, and I'm so much happier. Yeah, overall, good to get those out of your diet. I don't like the stimulant of it, so yeah. What do I think of homemade nut milks? I don't make them because I'm lazy. I also think when it comes to nuts, I think that only consuming a handful, or not even a handful, like a shot glass, is really all we need, because if you think about our ancestors didn't have bags of almonds. So if they wanted bags of almonds, they would have to pick the fruit where the almond comes from, and they would have to pick enough to make a bag of almonds. So that alone is a big thing, and I don't think that naturally we should be eating a huge amount of nuts. So, and I know nut milk is different because it's just nuts in the water, but again, you're consuming fats, and the fats can interfere with insulin resistance. But again, if you're making them and they are raw, that's cool. Go for it. I don't, because of the fat content and because I'm lazy. So I just don't bother doing those. Just same with kombucha. Again, I have other reasons not to eat kombucha, but again, I'm lazy, so I don't bother doing that. Sauerkraut, same way. How much oil do I use on my salads? I don't use oil at all. I don't consume any oils whatsoever. No olive oil, no coconut oil, none of that. I don't do that because I personally believe that it's not completely natural. I would rather have the fresh young coconut or some sun-dried olives. I would rather do those, except you can't find any really good sun-dried raw olives round because they're full of salt and they are soaked in oil. So I don't bother with olives unless I had them. Like if I had a tree and I could pick them and sun-dry them myself, maybe I would do that, but I don't. So I don't bother with olives. And yeah, coconut oil is for oil pulling, for moisturizer. That's what I use my coconut oil for. So yep, no oils on my salads. The only fats that I consume are chia, sesame, the occasional cashews. If I make like my red pepper cashew dip, I'll use those. Sometimes walnuts. I'll make like a Mexican taco flavored meat kind of thing that my husband really likes. Other than that, I don't really need those. I have enough omega-3s in my diet from my chia and my lettuce, so don't need that many fats. Let's see. How long to catch a flow and be consistent? Tips for back and forth. Whew, how long did it take to be consistent? Well, I cleaned out my fridge the next day and I actually literally threw away and gave away absolutely everything that was in my kitchen that was not raw. So I basically jumped right in and I became consistent right away because I had to be. But I think I would say it was around the 1 month mark where my cravings really subsided drastically and I didn't really crave those other foods, you know, like pizzas and Chinese food that I was like really addicted to. It took about a month to really get over the mental addiction to those foods, and it took about 3 to 4 months before I was really in a routine of, you know, the same salads, and you know, I really loved my food. I remember there was one day that I was having, it was the day that I actually made my French dressing, and it was about it was probably about 4 or 5 months in, I would say. I made my French dressing on a cucumber tomato salad and I was eating at my computer desk and I almost started crying because I was so happy that I loved this so much. And I was like, this is amazing that I actually am so in love with my food. And that's another reason why I have raw food romance, because I love my food so much and I'm so happy to eat this way. So yeah. It just really, it takes time to gain a new habit. And somebody else on my page posted something about it does take 3 months, not 21 days, to create a habit. It takes 21 days probably to break an old habit, but it does take about 3 months before you're really set in a groove. And I would say about the 3 month mark. So you really need to give it time. And my acne cleared up at around 4.5 months. My hormones started stabilizing really well at 7 months, and now they're like super stable. Yeah, basically my energy's been up pretty much the whole time, but really around month 3 was when I really started getting like a lot of energy. Was really good. Basically just the healing process of your body letting go of all of that old stuff. It does take time. So you have to stick to it and be consistent and be patient. All right. How do I know how many calories to shoot for? I basically aim for 2,000 calories is the average that everyone tries to aim for. I mean, I'm 5'6.5", so 2,000 is a good amount, I'd say. The thing is, I look for my nutrients. I make sure that I'm getting enough nutrients, and I seem to be able to get everything around 21 to 2,300 calories. So that's where I aim, and that's where I'm happy. I'm losing, well, I was losing weight about 1 pound a month, or 1 pound a week. I was losing weight 1 pound a week. Some weeks I didn't lose any, and some weeks I lost 2 or 3, but overall it averaged out at 1 pound a week, which was a really good slow weight loss, which really helped with keeping my skin tighter. I mean, it's not perfect, but it's way better than it would have been if I lost 60 pounds in like 2 months or whatever. I believe in very slow weight loss and more focusing on your health. Focus on getting enough nutrients, getting a wide variety of nutrients, and being able to provide your body everything it needs to function properly. And that does happen around a 2,000 calorie, 2100-ish. That's my happy place, is 2100 to 2300, because I've increased my calories just so that I don't lose more weight. So, but 2300 calories is a perfect amount for me right now. And you'll just have to figure out where your perfect spot is. And that only comes with time. Start with 2,000 calories, you know, increase it on days that you feel you need to eat more, decrease it maybe if you're shorter, or I don't know, you have to play with it. But I say the average, of course, is 2,000 calories. So play around with that, and I don't go below 1,800 for me, because I need the nutrients. We need the nutrients. So you need to get the food. Like if you're cutting your calories down to 1,200 calories to lose weight, where are you getting your nutrition? Especially if you're going to try to lose weight over the next 5 or 6 months, you're not going to be getting very much nutrition for those 5 or 6 months. So by eating enough calories and getting enough nutrition, your body naturally will shrink, but it does take time. So you have to be patient. It's a lifestyle, not a diet. Tips for eating dinner out. I look at the menu. Actually, I did do a video on this. I can post a link to that video in the comments. But basically, I will decide on the restaurant that I'm going to go to, and we'll go online and check out what they have. If they have any vegan options, then I just rawify it, basically taking out anything cooked. If they don't, I will basically, sometimes I'll email them and be like, hey, can you guys do this for me? And most of them are really cool about it, especially the fancy restaurants. They don't care because they make everything from scratch, so it's not like pre-made stuff. They have tons of fruits and vegetables in the back. Just look at the menu. They have like, you know, if they have like a mango encrusted tuna or whatever, they obviously have mangoes in the back. So, and then you look in the other way, they have like a Mexican dish with corn and carrots and whatever. And then they have like this big arugula salad or whatever. You could be like, hey, can you make me this arugula salad? I noticed that you have mango in the back and you have corn in the back and all that kind of, like, can you put that on my salad too? I'll pay extra, or whatever you want to say. But they're more than happy to do that. And a lot of the, like, one time I went to a restaurant and the chef actually was like, I had a lot of fun making that salad for you. So they don't mind. You just have to ask. That's really all it is about. Just ask and you should be able to get your salad. And I also just do lemon juice and cracked pepper on top of my salads for my dressing, because I don't want to do oils. So most of their dressings are oil-based anyway, so I don't bother, and just put lemon juice and pepper on my salad. And I will answer one more question. In the beginning, did you mess up a lot? Depends on which beginning you want me to talk about, because I've known about raw vegan food for the last 10 years. I messed up a lot in the last 10 years. I did it wrong because I was eating way too many healthy fats. Yeah, they were healthy fats, but they were coconut, avocados. I was having an avocado or 2 a day, and lots of coconut, lots of nuts, lots of cashews, tons of cashews. I was basically eating raw gourmet and a lot of dehydrated foods. So I was feeling like I was eating a fat cooked diet, basically, even though it was raw. And it would make me fall off because I would crave more, and it just it didn't work. Sometimes I would go 2 days, sometimes I would go a week. It just didn't work. It was until 11 months ago, give or take, when I became an ethical vegan. And that was really a good push because I have a conviction. I have a reason why I'm a raw vegan. So I only chose raw because I know that raw is better. That's just my opinion. If you can do cooked food, cooked vegan, go ahead. I can't, because if I eat potatoes, then I probably won't be back on YouTube. because I don't trust myself with cooked food, so I don't bother going there. If you can do raw tofu, if you can do starch solution, whatever, if you can, go for it. But it was my vegan conviction that helped me so much this time around. I never had the conviction, and now that I do, it's such a drawing motivation in my life. Plus, the weight loss was good. It helps me continue. But in the beginning, this time around, I did not slip up. I would say there were 3 times back in the winter when I had December 3rd for my birthday. I did a test. I did a raw till 4 day. I wanted to see if I could do it. I did a huge fruit plate for breakfast. I went to the raw vegan restaurant with my mom for lunch, and then my husband took me out to a nice fancy restaurant that had vegan stuff on the menu. So I thought, this is awesome. We've never been here and it was really expensive. It was really nice. So I decided I was going to try a raw till 4 day, and I had like a potato steamed veggie kind of a dish, and it was probably the potatoes, but I did not feel good after. I was like, it felt heavy and I didn't like it. So the next day I was like, no more, no more. But when I was in Mexico, I was sort of like, there was nothing to eat because they had fish in every salad, and I didn't want to pick out the lettuce because they all tasted like fish. So I settled for the steamed vegetables, and they were steamed vegetables, but I still felt heavy. I still felt dehydrated. So those were the only 3 times, twice in Mexico, once on my birthday, that I ever had a cooked vegan meal. And since then, no way, no way, no how. So I'm just not going there. But again, if you can, that's awesome. So I've rambled on for almost half an hour. I'm gonna stop the video now, and I hope you guys like it. Click like if you like, and subscribe to my channel. Find me on Facebook, Twitter, Pinterest, Instagram, and 2grand, all at Raw Food Romance. And I'm going to go out with my husband today and watch some Terminator because I'm a nerd. So I hope you guys have a wonderful weekend, and fruit on.